Morning.
Morning.
Welcome to another episode of Cruising Off Duty. Last episode we left. Morning.
Morning. We just left Sackets Harbor. We're motoring to Oswego now.
Motor sailing.
Yeah.
Not really enough wind to sail, so we're motor sailing.
Yeah, it's another hot day, so we may not get all the way to Oswego if the winds don't pick up because it's a far way to go on motoring.
Yeah. If we motor sail, we can do over 5 knots. It's 35 nautical miles, so it's about 7 hours, 8 hours. So it's a long trip. This will be the longest trip we've ever
Yeah, the longest
done.
one shot.
Yeah, one transit that we've ever done.
Yeah.
Well, yes.
Yeah.
Oh, I guess the first one we removed the bow.
Yeah,
I
that
guess we
doesn't
did those
count.
ones.
Doesn't count.
This one will be sailing, so the first time we've sailed this long. So
that trip sucked. So
Yeah.
this is gonna be a good trip.
We don't want to talk about that trip. So yeah, so this will be the first time we've sailed / motor sailed one long thing, 35 nautical miles to Oswego. Sackets Harbor was nice, but I mean really cute, but there's like nobody doing anything there. The town seemed dead.
Yeah.
And there was no reason to get the folding bikes out because there was nothing to go see. So we're hoping Oswego is bigger and there's more to do and we can get the bikes
at
out.
least bike worthy.
Yeah. So Oswego, let's hope it's good.
Yeah.
You'll learn when we learn. Okay.
Bye.
Talk to you later. Okay, we're leaving the Madison Barracks Marina. It's nice, good spot to go.
Yep.
Today is dead calm, as you can see from this stand-up paddleboarder.
It's a perfect day to try out stand-up paddleboarding.
Yeah. You want to stand in front of the camera and talk?
No.
No?
I haven't had a shower.
No? Okay. All right.
But I want to do that. I'm going to get so fit. I'm going to get so fit.
You're gonna get so fit.
Yeah.
So fit.
See, she's not just a skinny mini and she's doing it.
I didn't say you have to be skinny to do
I'm
it.
just saying, you don't have to be fit to do it. Get fit while doing it.
She's probably hearing you going, thanks a lot.
That looks fun. It looks
So on a calm day like this, yeah. But
Yeah.
usually it's wavy and slappy and
yeah.
crappy and poopy and greasy.
It's gorgeous. I'm glad we're getting out of there. But I preferred this marina to the downtown docks. Like, if we ever come back, I'd like to come here and just bike to the town or something.
Yeah. Yeah. We could come back.
For some reason, the
It wasn't
downtown.
horrible. It just was very
next
dead.
year. Next year, if there's normal water levels, maybe the downtown will be less of a bummer.
Yeah. So this is the downtown one she's referring to over here, where you see those masts. There's kind of a downtown marina. There was no city docks; they were all underwater. So now we're on our way to possibly Oswego, but it's 35 nautical miles and we have no wind. So unless we want to motor for like 8 hours, we may have to pick a closer spot. I'm kind of assuming the wind will pick up later. But Oswego bound we are.
That is Horse Island, just outside of Sackets Harbor. It has a little lighthouse on it. You can just see it going behind a tree now. And a couple of sandy beaches. Yesterday I was desperate to swim and I couldn't find anywhere to swim. All waterfront towns should have a beach. Next time we come, maybe we'll anchor beside this island here.
So as you can see, I mean, look at this glassy water. Again, the humidity is making a little hazy on the horizon. Something way up there in the front, I don't know if we can make it out. It's something that's putting out a lot of smoke or steam or something. I'm guessing it's a freighter. It's out in the middle of Lake Ontario. But nice. I don't know what that is, but it's too hazy to see. But there's just enough of a puff of air to kind of sort of fill the sails. And when I'm motoring, I'm getting about 4.6 knots, and with the sail up, I'm getting like 4.8, 4.9. So it's helping a wee bit, but not really too much. It's beautiful though, and other than burning fuel, which kind of sucks, and then the noise of the engine, which kind of sucks. It's very comfortable because you just put the autopilot on. Janice is downstairs making us some nibblies, and sort of in between breakfast and lunch, we're gonna have some raisin toast, and then we'll have lunch. But I mean, you can cook, I can go downstairs and edit. I can do whatever I need to do when it's like this, because there's really no waves throw things around. So good that way. Okay, we found out that that steam we see on the horizon is actually a nuclear power plant on the other side of Lake Ontario, just east of Oswego. I was thinking it had to be a freighter because it feels like it's in the middle of Lake Ontario, but that must be one big smokestack seen all the way across Lake Ontario, even on a humid, hazy day like this. Anyways, mystery solved. And all of you that get offended when we don't use both of our sails, we are now motor sailing with our main sail and our Genoa. It's adding a little extra 0.3 knots probably to have the second sail up. So it was hot and we were motor sailing, and Janice decided she really needed to swim. She loves to swim. So we're floating along in Lake Ontario. Barely moving. Barely moving, bobbing. There's like no wind. So she's a polar bear, loves the water. Loves it even if it's cold. And you can see we got the two, not that cold, in the middle of Lake Ontario. And both sails are up, but you can see it's just like next to no wind. So she said, kill the engines! I want to swim. Yeah. How cold do you think it is? Like what temperature?
It's warmer than when I swam that day with Carol. So.
Yeah, but that was only 69.
No. That was 74 or 5.
No, that was 69 when you were with her. It was 74 when we were at Duck Island.
Was it now? Mm-hmm. So it feels warmer than that.
Because I swam at Duck Island. I won't swim at 69, but I'd swim at 74.
It feels warmer now than then.
Yeah. Okay. So say bye. We would love to have sailed the whole way because it's so much quieter and so much more peaceful. But unfortunately, sailing at less than 1 knot would have taken us forever to get there, so we had to put the motor back on. Here we are close to Oswego, and you can finally see the nuclear power plant up close. All that steam was visible all the way across Lake Ontario.
We're almost at Oswego. Definitely probably.
It's humid and hazy, and there's a massive factory, big factory.
Oil refinery right next to the Marina.
Yeah. So there's a lot of industrialness to Oswego.
Yeah.
But hopefully it's nice when we get there in town.
Looking for a McDonald's with Wi-Fi and a real liquor store with like a good selection. Yeah. Those are our objectives.
Yes. Yeah. We might have to break out the folding bikes again.
Yes. It's really hot.
It's really hot, so
I may just go braless all day long because it's as hot as yesterday. Right, not wearing a bra, so I don't even know. So there.
The derelict lighthouse, the factory in the background. Welcome to Oswego. Over there on the left is the Oswego Canal that gets you to like the Erie Canal, which you would take if you were trying to get to New York from Lake Ontario. But we are not doing that, so we're going to head down there where there's masts in the background. Try and find a spot to tie up. Okay, we're here in Oswego. We made it. We pulled over to the city dock. Well, that's the day dock over there. And they have a regatta, a 3-day regatta going on. So the guy said, we prefer you to be over here on the Marina dock.
Which is a nicer dock anyway?
Nicer dock. So we're like, yeah, we'll do that. So everybody on that dock is part of the regatta. So really sturdy, nice docks, and we got a breeze.
Yeah.
We're on the edge, and it's hot as hell, so we're glad to have the breeze. So
this is perfect for us.
Woohoo! On our bikes. All right, ciao for now. Okay, so we biked. Holding bike is behind us here. We biked to the top of this hill, and when we found out there's a great vantage point from here. Our boat is out there at the end behind that big power boat. You can't really see it, but this is the protected harbor of Oswego. And we're going to continue using our bike to get to McDonald's and the rest of the whatever's in town. So they become very useful. Yeah. As long as we have a big city. So that's it for now. Okay, so we're making use of our folding bikes. We biked to well, the other side of Oswego where McDonald's was, so we could use Wi-Fi. And
discovered a Friendly's also.
Oh yeah, there's a Friendly's, which is like our favorite cheap restaurant to go and get a full meal and road trip restaurant, full meal with a sundae and everything for like less than $10. And then as we're biking back, we saw this bridge, which is the bridge over top of the Oswego Canal. So this is the canal you'd take from Lake Ontario if you want to get to the Erie Canal, and from the Erie Canal follow it to the Hudson River, and then you're out at New York City. So If we ever decide to drop our mast and go to New York City, this is the canal we would be taking. Okay, we've ridden around the city and we came along this railway trail, they call it, and it's kind of weird because it has this stainless looking pipe, but it's also a bike path sort of, or walking path. And then we got a closer look at the Oswego Canal. So the general gist of it is down there, there's locks that elevates you so you can stay in the canal half of this where there's no current, and then you look at the side that's not controlled by locks and there's a pretty stiff current going out into Lake Ontario. So needless to say, if you're traveling that direction, you want to be in the canal. I mean, obviously if you're traveling the other direction, you want to be in the canal as well because you don't want to get swept away by the rapids. But yeah, there's definitely wide enough for a catamaran. I don't know why people were saying taking catamarans up here might be a bit tight, but there's a power cat right there. So if we ever own our catamaran and we want to come back to Lake Ontario, this might be the route we take.
I'm looking at this and it's actually very nice. There's park down there, there's the shelters with picnic table, one on that side, one on the other side. And
walking paths.
For walking along, just like the Ottawa Rideau Canal.
From a distance I thought it was graffiti, but I realize now that all those things, I should go through the mesh there. All those things are actually like, you know, probably like
some
high school students or something that's painted little murals along the walls. And there's, like I said, there's picnic benches in the parks there, over here too, you see one.
And it looks like
picnic benches.
Public bathrooms maybe, or something.
Yeah,
there.
Maybe public washrooms here
there's
for
more
canal
picnic
users.
tables. So yeah, it's very utilized.
Plenty of space to tie up along the way. I mean, it looks like you can just tie up anywhere. So that's cool. It's cool. All right, onward we are going. Okay, so we went on a little mission to find a liquor store again.
Mission accomplished.
Because we were looking for this exact
specific rum here that we
super
bought.
cheap.
It's so cheap. It's $18 or 16. Sorry.
Supposed to be from what country?
I don't know.
Anyways, St. Thomas or something like that. And it's super cheap.
What matters is I can drink as much of this as I want and have no consequence. I never feel sick, headache.
Making yourself seem like a raving lush.
It's like my favorite rum.
Okay, anyway, she doesn't get hangovers, so we stick with that one. So there's some interesting buildings around here. This, I guess, used to be a train station, and it's like a chalk drawing on the wall. And then there's some weird building with turrets over there. So we're gonna bike by that.
Okay.
So there's not much else for us to do after this, just that and then head back to the boat.
Yeah, we asked her about Walgreens, because that was the next thing on my agenda, and there is no Walgreens in Oswego. So
no Walgreens.
We won't bike all over town.
She won't make me go another 10 miles looking for a Walgreens. All right, that's it for now. See you back at the boat. So I'm sure it wasn't designed to be this. It looks very military barracks-ish, but this is actually a YMCA.
I don't really like these YMCAs.
Yeah, it seems like everywhere we go in the States, YMCAs have reclaimed some historic military building. So, cool. All right, onward we go. Well, we headed back to the boat, and from the view of our boat, we got to see the beauty of, well, this. Let's just say Oswego is very industrial. This cement factory beside the marina was just running compressors and motors all night, and there was the odd whiff of something that I just couldn't put my finger on. But there's one thing I've noticed, is a town always looks prettier from the air. So let's get the Mavic Pro up and see what Oswego looks like from up high. Okay, let's face it, the drone didn't make Oswego look any less, well, industrial. But what Oswego lacks in waterfront beauty, it makes up for in other ways. Most towns along the waterfront, other than let's say Kingston, are so small that it's hard to find all the places you like to go to for provisioning or for restaurants or bars. There's just not a lot of choice. Oswego's large enough that you can find anything you want. And that's a good thing to know, because one day down the road, I'm quite sure we'll be going through Oswego to go to the Erie Canal when we're either heading to or coming back from the Caribbean and South Florida. Well, we hope you found this episode entertaining and informative. If so, please give it a like. And a special thanks to our patrons that support the channel. Without them, this channel wouldn't exist. Well, in the next episode, we'll be heading back across Lake Ontario back towards home base, which is Kingston. This time, we don't have a trip with sunny skies and no wind. We have dense fog, which is super creepy because you never know when one of those massive freighters is going to come out of the fog and crush you like a bug. With the season we've had, you just can't discount that happening. Hit the subscribe button so you don't miss that episode. And until next time, this is Craig signing off, wishing you safe cruising.